Have you ever looked around at your life, at your current circumstances, your job or the state of your business, your friendships, your daily routine, and thought, this just ain't it. This just isn't it anymore. But at the same time, you have no idea what's next. You have no idea what's coming. Because if so, I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're actually in a very sacred and important transition. And in this video, what I'm going to do is walk you through what to do when you feel as though you've outgrown your current life, but you can't yet see the next step. And I just want to open up with a very, personal journey. It's not too long ago now that I was, caught in a very toxic jobs where I was working for certain individuals that made me feel very uncomfortable, even bullied, even harassed. I was using and abusing a lot of substances, drugs and alcohol. On paper, with the substance abuse aside, it seemed as though I had everything together. I had a sense of recognition. I had a very stable and secure job. However, I just wasn't necessarily moving. I wasn't necessarily shifting. I was feeling very lost because I felt like I knew that I was meant for more, and yet I was just tolerating my existing circumstances whilst also simultaneously trying to escape them through the use of substances. And as confusing and uncomfortable as it was, dragging myself into these environments every day where I wasn't stimulated, I wasn't growing, I wasn't feeling challenged, as very challenging and uncomfortable as it was emotionally, it actually turned out to be the catalyst for one of my biggest changes and transformations in my life. And I just want to take this moment to check in with you, because if you're in that in-between space, right now, where you know that something big is coming around the corner, but you're not sure what it looks like, and your current circumstances don't reflect it, I want you to know that you're not broken. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. You're simply evolving. And as humans who are wired by the very nature of our brain to predict and protect based upon events of the past, we tend to panic and freak out when things fall out of alignment. And we think that just because something seemingly is going wrong, that our whole life is coming to an end. But it's not a breakdown, it's actually a breakthrough. This is a very important period where you're shedding old versions of yourself. And that's not failure, that's growth. I had to shed old versions of myself who felt unworthy, who felt constantly in this cycle of people pleasing and serving others, even though I knew deep down that they weren't particularly healthy for me. I had to shed these old layers of addiction and vices. And whether you're going through something similar or not, that's just the reality of this void that you find yourself in. It's not anything to do with failure, it's to do with growth. And this void that you're in is a very, very sacred and important part of life, because we've been conditioned from a very early age simply to just rush into the next thing. We always have to be doing something, we always have to be going, and there's a very big glamorization of hustling and productivity and output online. But the truth is, there's wisdom in the pause. There's wisdom in finding silence and stillness, because in the stillness, your intuition gets louder. The whispers from your higher self get louder. So it's not really something to escape. It's an opportunity for you to learn from my mistakes, because the space that you're in is where the next version of yourself can actually emerge. And the clarity that you're looking for comes from courage, not certainty. You probably won't have a 10-step plan right away about what to do next. But the next chapter will unfold with just one bold step, whether that's having a conversation with someone who you've been putting off, writing a page of your book, saying no to something safe. You don't need to have the whole map. You don't need to have the whole journey mapped out. You just need to start walking and trusting that you can rest in the warm embrace of your higher self. And so there's a prompt that I want you to sit with this week, and maybe it's something that you can journal or take with you as a living meditation, or a thought train that you can jump on, which is, if I fully trusted the version of me that's trying to be born right now, what would I stop tolerating? And what small act of courage could I take this week? Doesn't have to be big. What small act of courage could I take this week to honor the person that I'm becoming? How would they be showing up? So you don't have to have it all figured out today. You just have to stay awake, stay honest, and stay curious, because that's exactly what I did. And I think, by having this awareness of this transformation, allowed me to go deeper into stillness, to find a sense of solitude, to let go of habits and vices that weren't serving me, to be curious. And through that curiosity and that stillness, I was able to receive insights, downloads, wisdom from my higher self. I was able to feel all kinds of ideas emerge, which led to me, transforming my life and my career into a vessel to support others with their mental health. It led to ventures being born, money being raised, teams being built, which I never could have expected, and I never would have mapped out, because I never would have believed that it was possible. But it happened because I was willing to trust, and I was willing to stay curious. And so your next chapter is not something that is out of reach. It's just waiting for you to listen a little more closely. It's waiting for you to pause. It's waiting for you to just step away from what you're doing, to just break the pattern of go, 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 and just trust that you'll get the answers that you need. So, if this resonated with you, drop a comment. Let me know where you're at on your journey. This is just one guy's opinion and experience. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right or wrong. I'm just here to have a conversation with you, and I just want you to know that you've got this, and I've got you, and I'm right here with you. And yeah, if this helped you in any way, give it a like, subscribe, share it with someone who you think would benefit as well. Pay it forward, because God knows, I know a lot of people are suffering out there. So yeah, please share the love, and I'm sending you a lot of love. Have a really beautiful day or night ahead. So yeah.